Feel like heading to the beach for a board game? Great! I'll go get some sea salt and paper. Welcome to How to Play Sea Salt and Paper on BGA. Now this is a game for 2 to 4 players designed by Bruno Cathala and Theo Riviere. It was published by Bombix in 2022. In this card game, players draw and play cards in a race to score points. The first player to reach a point total determined by the number of players playing the game wins the game. This is a light, easy game that can be played on BGA in about 10 to 15 minutes, or 30 to 45 if you are playing a physical copy. The game features some beautiful artwork of origami that has a sea theme, hence the name, sea salt for the theme, and paper for the origami. So, are you ready to learn to play? It'll take us about 5 minutes to teach you the basic rules and maybe another 10 to touch up on some of the technicalities in the game. You ready? Great. Let me get out the way so we can focus on the game. Here we have a game of sea salt and paper ready to start. There are 58 cards in the draw deck. The first 2 are drawn and both cards are placed face up, forming 2 separate discard piles. The other 56 cards form the face down draw deck. The first player is determined randomly. We're now ready to take a turn. Turns are very simple in sea salt and paper. You have 2 options. Option 1 is to draw 2 face down cards from the draw deck. You will choose one which you add to your hand. The other you will discard to one of the face up discard piles. The card you discard will go on the top of that discard pile and cover the cards underneath. If one of those discard piles are empty, you must discard a card to the empty pile. The other option that you have is to draw one of the cards that are face up on the top of the discard piles. The card you draw goes into your hand. Let's see that work. So our options are draw 2 cards from the draw deck, choosing one and putting it into our hand, or we can draw one of the 2 cards that are face up on either discard pile. Simple. Notice that you must always draw a card at the start of your turn. You can never choose not to. And the cards in your hand are secret from the other players, just as the cards they have are secret from you. After you've drawn a card, you can then play any duo cards that are in your hand. You can play as many duo cards as you like in the same turn, or you can choose not to play any and keep them in your hand. After a pair of duo cards have been played, you resolve the effects of that particular duo. We'll talk about what those effects are in a moment. After you've finished playing all the duo cards you want to, if you have 7 or more points, you may end the round. And you may end the round in one of 2 different ways. Again, we'll talk about that in a moment. We'll also talk about how points are scored in a moment. Now, if you don't have 7 or more points, or you don't want to end the round, you want to keep going, then play continues with the next player who goes through exactly the same steps. And that's all there is to learning the gameplay of Sea Salt and Paper. Next, we'll get into a few of the complications. So let's have a look at these famous duo cards and what do they do? What happens when you play them from their hand? Well, there are 4 types of duo card in the game. There are crabs, fish, boats, and the dreaded shark and swimmer. Now, the effect of a duo card is only triggered when you play it from your hand. While it sits inside your hand, it does nothing. It's optional to play it. You can hold it there forever. It's a great way to lose a game. Let's have a look at the effects in detail. Let's start with crabs. When you play a duo of crabs, that is 2 crab cards, you may pick one of the discard piles, take a look at all the cards in that one discard pile, choose one of those cards and place it in your hand. However, you're going to have to remember which card you need is in which discard pile, because you can only see the face-up card at any one time. Crabs can be a little bit tricky. Now let's take a look at fish. When you play a duo of fish, that is 2 fish cards, you will draw the top card of the face-down draw deck. Not one of the discard piles, the face-down draw deck. And that will go straight to your hand. So 2 fish will give you an extra card. Good for the fish. Now let's take a look at boats. When you play a duo of boats, that is 2 boats, you get to take an extra turn. Because you're taking an extra turn, you have the usual choices of a turn. So you can draw 2 face down cards from the top of the draw deck, choose one and discard the other, or you can take a card from the top of one of the discard piles. Boats are very powerful. Next is the dreaded duo of the shark and swimmer. Note that this one is a little bit different. You must play a shark and a swimmer, not 2 sharks or 2 swimmers. That's why they're called duos, because not all of them are pairs. Now when you play the duo shark and swimmer, you will steal a random card from an opponent of your choice. So you will see all of your opponents groan when you play this duo. That stolen card goes straight into your hand. Shark and swimmer, great way to upset people. Now that we understand how duo cards work, let's talk about scoring. How do you get points? Firstly, each duo that you have, whether in your hand or played in front of you, is worth 1 point per duo. If you have a lone card of one of the duo cards, so 1 boat, 1 fish, 1 crab, and a lone shark or a lone swimmer, it's 0 points. Next, let's look at collector cards. Now these are always scored from within your hand and are never played from your hand to your face-up area. There are 4 flavours of collector cards: anchors, penguins, seashells, and octopuses, never octopi. These score based on how many of that same type of card you have in your hand. So for example, if I have 2 octopuses, they are worth 3 points. If I gained an extra octopus, that would be worth 6 points as a set. Octopuses, seashells, and anchors score 0 if you only have one of that type in your hand. Penguins, a lone penguin, will still score 1 point. Next, let's look at multiplier cards. These also score from within your hand and also come in 4 flavours. They are the lighthouse, the shoal of fish, the penguin colony, and the captain. Now, the lighthouse scores you 1 point for every boat you have, whether that boat is in your hand or you've played it out in front of you. It's important to note that the lighthouse does not count itself as a boat. So if you had two boats, you'd played a duo, you'd score 2 points. You do not score for the card itself. Now the shoal of fish does exactly the same as the lighthouse, except it scores fish cards instead of boat cards. The penguin colony scores 2 points for every penguin collector card that is in your hand. Again, it doesn't score itself. So if you had one penguin card, the penguin collector would score you 2 points. The captain does exactly the same as the penguin colony card, except it does it for anchors. Let's take a look at the mermaid. She's the trickiest to score. To figure out how many points each mermaid is worth, you need to look at which colour you have the most cards of. That's in your hand and played out in front of you. For example, let's say you had 5 light blue cards and 2 black cards. Light blue is the colour you have the most cards of. Now each of those cards is worth 1 point. So in this case, you had 1 mermaid and 5 light blue cards. You would have 5 points. Now what happens if you've got 2 mermaid cards? Well, the first mermaid card scores you for your most numerous colour. So in our previous example, she would score the 5 points, 5 light blue cards. The second mermaid looks for the colour you have the second most cards in. Let's say that was black and we had those 3 cards. So she would score 3 points for a total of 8 points. Now, mermaids themselves count as the colour white. So if you had 1 light blue card and 3 mermaids, the first mermaid would count as colour white, 3 points, because you have 3 mermaids. Second mermaid would count the light blue. Third mermaid is 0 points because you don't have a third colour. But as soon as you pick up a card, it should be worth 1 point. Lastly, if you do manage to get all 4 mermaids in your hand, you win the game automatically. That's it. Done. Good luck with that. Good luck. Now, when you reach a total of 7 points, at the end of your turn, you will have a couple of choices to make. You can either keep on playing, or you can choose to end the round. And the way in which you end the round also has 2 choices. The easiest way is simply to declare stop. You hit the button that says stop, and everyone scores the points they currently have. Round ends immediately, everyone shows their cards, everyone scores their current hand and cards in front of them. The second way is a bit riskier. You click the button that says last chance, so you declare last chance. You immediately show your cards and score your current hand. All of your opponents get 1 turn each to continue to see how many points they can accumulate. One by one, they will play their extra turn, reveal their cards, and score. If any of your opponents, any one of them, beats your score, you will only score 1 point for the number of cards you have in the most numerous colour. So in our previous example, you had 5 light blue cards, you'd score 5 points. Your opponents will score the value of their hands normally. If none of them beat you, and they must beat your score, not equal it, they must beat it. If none of them achieve that, you will score your hand plus a bonus of 1 point for each card in the most numerous colour you have. Your opponents, instead of scoring their hand values, will just score 1 point for each card in the most numerous colour that they have. That's a great way to get a lead, but it is a risky play. So once the round has ended, a new round will begin. Your points will be scored and tallied, and a new round will begin. You'll start with no cards. The cards will be shuffled, 2 cards will be dealt to form 2 face-up discard piles, and you begin all over again. The person who ended the round, the player to their left, is the one who will start the new round. Now, how does the game end? The game will end when a player has reached the required point total, and this differs depending on how many players are playing the game. If it's just 2 players, it's the first to score 40 or more points. If it's 3 players, it's the first to 35 or more points, and if it's 4 players, it's the first to 30 or more points. So that will take you a few rounds. The only other way the game can end suddenly is if one person collects all 4 mermaids and just wins outright. Feel free to hate that person. And that's how you play Sea Salt and Paper. If you like these tutorial videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Also, let us know in the comments what you want to see more of or less of. We'll be happy to work it into the schedule. Until then, have a great day out there, wherever you are. Bye for now.